Hi everybody and welcome back. I'm Juliette and today I will show you how to use your yoga blocks practicing your downward facing dog. Always remember, whether you are beginner, intermediate or advanced, using the tools can be very useful. So using your yoga blocks can be very helpful. It can be challenging and fun at the same time. So let's explore. Alright guys, so the first modification for the beginners. So we will place our blocks directly underneath our palms. And so while you're practicing your downward facing dog, if you are a beginner and it's a little bit challenging for you still to extend your legs fully and keep your back long and extended how you're supposed to do in your downward facing dog position, so this modification would be ideal for you. So placing your palms here, and I will show you the first one. So once you just started, or maybe you are a teacher, yoga instructor in the yoga studio or the fitness club, you can teach that to your students as well. So the first one for the very beginners, we will bend the knees and we will take the hips really far away and press those palms nice and firm into those blocks, and that way you can actually lengthen in that spine nicely. Don't worry about the heels on the floor and have that supported position. And you or your students, you can guys practice it that way as long as you need. Once you get in a little bit better and you relax your back, letting you go farther, then you can extend those knees and place your heels on the floor and still hold hands on the blocks. And that would be the next variation for using the block. So once your back again a little bit opens, you gotta be patient with downward facing dog. Then you can relax your neck and just be there and practice this variation as long as needed until you can take your hands off the blocks and practice that on the floor. So guys, the next variation with the blocks, it will be with the blocks underneath our feet. Some people find it very challenging, but I actually use it for the beginners as well, because people have different alignments and different lengths of arms and legs, and that can be very helpful for someone who has a longer torso like me. So you can place your feet on the blocks. You can actually bend your knees as well, or you can hold the feet flat, and use of these blocks actually will most likely help you to keep your feet flat on those blocks right away. So you're gonna push against the floor with the flat palms, just the same like you do in a normal downward facing dog. Put your navel in, relax your neck, and just practice your downward facing dog with your blocks underneath your feet. So that would be the next variation with the blocks. So guys, the next variation using the blocks I want to show you today is when you or your student starting to practice 3-point dog. So this block can be very helpful if you put it on the side. So rather than just hold that hand on the floor, you can offer your student to elevate it with a hand and just shift the hips back. So that way, eventually, it would be easier for you not to use the block. And let's say, for example, one of the variations, take your hand to the opposite ankle, or maybe you can do a transition in between. You can hold that block up here, then you can move it a little bit farther and still support that way to take an extra pressure away, or you can keep it right there, or you can take it higher. So in other words, this is a very helpful variation to expand in your practice. So that was the third one. So the next variation, guys, will be connected with the neck and support. So just practicing your regular downward facing dog, occasionally we had a neck pains or we're just not as strong some days, so you can use this block underneath your forehead and just that way acquire an extra support through the face point. So you have 2 hands, 2 feet, and you can really adjust it a little bit, put it closer, farther, just make sure you find the good supportive position for your forehead, and that way you can practice it longer and build the strength in the shoulders and in the legs. Wonderful. So the next variation, guys, I consider to be spicy one to make your practice a little bit more effective, more fun. So you can put your block in between your inner thigh and practice closed feet, downward facing dog. So your feet right now not anymore sit bones width apart, it's a little bit closer. And you create an extra pressure in between the legs, squeezing that block as tight as you can, focusing on building leg strength and bringing attention even more in your body to build more awareness. So this is excellent variation when you want something to do a little bit differently with your downward facing dog. So that can be very challenging, and it can be very helpful to develop more strength. So guys, the last variation I'm going to show you today, very powerful one, very fun one. I practice it a lot. So when we already really good with the balance, being on the floor on one arm and one leg in our downward facing dog position, there is a variation to spice it a little bit. So you can put your feet and your hands instead, then you put them on the floor, you can put them on the block. So just make sure in this variation you don't shift too much weight in order to hold that balance on that one shoulder. It's still regular downward facing dog. And we can start by bringing just one leg up and still support ourselves with the hand. And once you're ready, you can tap out that hand outside, and I already showed you modification how to get there using the block. And from there, you can go ahead and practice your extra balance in your downward facing dog up here on your blocks. This is extremely challenging, but it is so much fun. So great job, everybody. And that was a few fun and challenging and helpful variations of the downward facing dog using your blocks. So come back and we will practice together soon.